From Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, we bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds and the Montreal Expos hooking up again tonight after the Reds came up with an 11-7 victory last night. Record-setting performance by Johnny Bench with home run number 314 in his career as a catcher to set the all-time Major League standard as the Reds roll to the big victory, and tonight hoping to make it two straight. Right-hander Mario Soto goes to the mound for the Reds against the ace of the Montreal pitching staff, right-hander Steve Rogers. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the Montreal Expos. Leading off in left field, Ron LaFleur. Second baseman Rodney Scott will bat second. Hitting third in center field, Andre Dawson. Batting in the cleanup spot, right fielder Ellis Valentine. Warren Cromartie will play first base and bat fifth. Hitting number 6, the catcher Gary Carter. Larry Parrish will play third base and bat seventh. Hitting 8th at shortstop, Chris Beyer. And batting ninth, the Montreal pitcher, right-hander Steve Rogers. Again for the Expos, it's LaFleur in left field, Scott at second base, Dawson in center field. Valentine in right, Cromartie at first base, Carter catching, with Parrish at third, Spire at short, and Rogers on the mound. For the Reds, Sam Mejias will lead off and play center field. Shortstop Dave Concepcion will bat second. Ken Griffey, the right fielder, hits third. Batting fourth in left field, George Foster. Hitting number 5 at first base, Danny Dreesen. Batting sixth at third base, Ray Knight. Hitting number 7, the catcher, Joe Nolan. Batting 8th at second base, Junior Kennedy. And batting 9th and pitching for the Reds, right-hander Mario Soto. This copyrighted broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by Cincinnati Reds Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Cincinnati Reds Incorporated is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are employed by the Cincinnati Reds Incorporated. Again, quickly going over the Reds' batting order, it's Mejias in center field, Concepcion at shortstop, Griffey in right field, Foster in left, Dreesen at first base, Knight at third, with Nolan catching, Kennedy at second, and Soto pitching. Rogers delivers, Mejias takes it up and in, ball one. Mejias batting .288. Swings and loops one down the left field line. That ball is going to be caught by Ron LaFleur. Ball hanging up long enough for LaFleur to run it down. One out. The batter will be shortstop Dave Concepcion. Davey batting .246 with 4 home runs and 44 runs batted in. Rogers, a career record of 6 wins and 8 losses against Cincinnati. He has really been in high gear since the 16th of May. That was a game in which he defeated the Reds up in Montreal. He's won 8-2, won 8, lost 2 in 13 starts, and has a streak of 44 and a third innings without giving up a home run. Not a very, very enviable record by any starting pitcher in baseball. So with one down here in the first inning, it's Rogers to Concepcion. Davey takes a strike. Just missing with that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the second at Boston, Kansas City, and the Red Sox are scoreless. After an inning and a half in Atlanta, Braves 4, New York Mets 1. Atlanta got 4 runs in the first inning. Mets came up with 1 in the top of the second. Here's a fly ball into shallow center field. Out Scott, in Dawson. Andre Dawson will make the catch, and they're 2 out. Ken Griffey coming off quite a game last night. He had 4 hits and 5 times up, 3 singles and a double. Drove in a total of 3 runs, giving him 47 on the season and jumping his batting average up to .315. Pitch. That's a ball. In the Montreal infield, they've got Cromartie at first, Scott at second, Parrish at third, Spire at shortstop, LaFleur, Dawson, Valentine, left, center, and right, and Carter catching. Griffey out in front, 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, you look at the man leading the National League in hitting and almost have to do a double take. Manny Trio of the Philadelphia Phillies actually is tied with Dodger right fielder Reggie Smith. They're each hitting at .328. Templeton at .325 and Cromartie of the Expos at .322. Griffey swings and doesn't get it. 2-1. Garvey leading the league in RBIs with 70, one more than George Hendrick of the Cardinals. Ray Knight tied for fourth with Dodgers' Dusty Baker. Grounded foul at first base and on into the Reds bullpen. 2-2, Rogers with Griffey. Steve Rogers has gotten Mejias on a fly ball to left, Concepcion on a fly to center. Throws a break-even pitch to Griffey, and Kenny takes it high. Ball 3, full count. Rogers rocks, kicks, and fires. Griffey fouls it back to the screen. Another warm, humid night in Cincinnati tonight. Rogers taking a big, settling deep breath as he goes to Gary Carter for the sign and throws 3-2 to Griffey. Another foul, this one straight back. This afternoon at Chicago, Dodgers dropped a 4-1 decision to the Cubs and right-hander Rick Russell. Bill Buckner had 3 hits, keyed a couple of rallies with singles to do some damage to his former employers. Jerry Royce started and lost it for Los Angeles, only his 3rd defeat compared with 10 wins. Griffey pops it up. Let's see if that ball gets back into the seats over his third baseman Parrish at the railing and has room to make the catch. So Steve Rogers sets the Reds down in order. We've completed 1 inning of baseball. It's Montreal 2 and Cincinnati nothing.
Knight, Nolan, Kennedy. Doug Bear throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. One-0 pitch. Knight takes it again high, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Ray. Let's see some activity in the Montreal bullpen should Knight get on it. As we said, a very hot and humid night here, and Steve Rogers, pretty good sweat up. Steve delivers the 2-0, and Knight swings, hits it well to left field. Going back, LaFleur, and that's a Baia. Number 10 for Ray Knight, and we're on the scoreboard. That's the first home run that Steve Rogers has allowed in 44 and a third innings, plus 6, so that's 50 and 1/3 innings. Steve getting that pitch up, and Knight taking care of it. It's now a 5-1 ball game, and hopefully that'll get something started for the Reds. 3rd hit of the game for Cincinnati. Rogers was working on his 3rd shutout of the year. Joe Nolan steps in. Joe, 0 for 1 officially, has walked and bounced to the mound. Rogers delivers. Nolan swings and fouls straight back. Takes a breaking ball high and outside, and the count evens 1-1. The home run by Ray Knight equals his major league high. That was 10 last year. Pitched to Nolan, low and inside. 2 balls to strike. Rogers looking down and now shakes off a sign from Carter and delivers the 2-1. That's ball 3 inside. 3-1 to count to Joe Nolan. And now Dick Williams looks down the Montreal dugout, and we'll see the pitch swung on and missed. Pitch up, and the count full to Joe Nolan. Doug Bear throwing in the Reds bullpen. Should we get to the nice spot, a pinch hitter, the pitch. Swung on, hit well to right field. Going back is Valentine, looking up. That one is gone. Back-to-back home runs here in the seventh inning. It's a 5-2 ball game, and Woody Fryman and Stan Bonson will head to the Montreal bullpen to start throwing. Joe Nolan's second home run of the year. And it's a 5-2 game. The Reds now with 4 hits, and that'll bring Dick Williams out of or Galen Cisco, rather, out of the Montreal dugout to talk to Steve Rogers. Mario Soto on deck, but we'll certainly see a pinch hitter for him. The pitch to Kennedy swung on. That's bounced to Spire at short. Chris's throw to Cromartie. 1 out. A 1 away, and Cesar Geronimo will hit for Soto. Fryman and Bonson throwing in the Montreal bullpen. Geronimo to hit for Mario Soto. Cesar hitting .264 with a home run, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles as a pinch hitter. The Chief 4 for 13. Now 1 out, bases empty, 2 in. Back-to-back homers by Ray Knight and Joe Nolan. Rogers delivers to Geronimo. A breaking pitch misses high and outside. Rogers delivers the 1-0, and that's low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. .2-0 delivery. That's a strike at the knees. 2-1. 2 home runs gives the Reds now a total of 69 on the year. Here's the 2-1. Geronimo loops it into center field, but Andre Dawson there waiting on it, and that is out number 2. 2 away, and Sam Mejias, the batter. Sam 0 for 3. His last time up sent Dawson to the middle of the warning track and straightaway center to haul in his fly ball. Rogers delivers. Mejia swings, and he hits it well to left field. LaFleur to the fence. He hits on top of the fence and out of the ballpark, and it's a 5-3 ball game. That ball hit right on top of the fence and bounces out of the ballpark for Sam, his first home run of the year, and it's 5-3. Well, Steve Rogers being roughed up pretty good here in the inning, but 3 hits, 3 runs, and there's not been any walks. Here comes Dick Williams, and that's going to be it for Steve. Steve 0 for 3 the pitch. Davey swings, lines at the right field. That's a base hit. Valentine plays it on the bounce, and that'll bring Ken Griffey to the plate, and he represents the tying run. Well, Davey wastes no time at all. He jumps right on Bonson's first pitch, and the Reds have gotten him in base hits with 6, but we still need 2 to get even in the important department. Kenny is 0 for 2 and a walk. Griffey has 7 home runs on the year with 47 RBIs, and boy, number 8 would be most appropriate right now. Woody Fryman continues to throw in the Montreal bullpen. Bonson the stretch and the pitch. Griffey takes a breaking ball, a called strike. Dave Concepcion at first. 2 out, 3 runs in. All runs on home runs. Knight, Nolan, and Sam Mejias. Bonson to the belt, delivers. Griffey takes one that bounces in front of the plate. Count evens 1-1. strike to Ken Griffey. Cromartie holding Concepcion close at first. Bonson checks in with Gary Carter, and the stretch. 1-1 pitch. Griff takes high and inside. 2 balls to strike. George Foster on deck. Outfield around to the right for Griffey, as is Rodney Scott. Right up the middle, a base hit, no problem. Swinging a foul off the first baseline. Rodney Scott playing in the hole, the second baseman, and anything where he normally would be playing would be a base hit. Out even to Griffey. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bonson to the belt, delivers. Griff swings and lines it. A leaping grab by Rodney Scott, and he was playing in the right spot. So all I can say, well, the inning ends, but the Reds pick up 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors, a runner left on base, and at the end of 7, Montreal 5, Cincinnati 3.
Ground ball slapped to first, foul. Knight hit 10 for the Indianapolis Indians while batting .268 in 1976. Had 1 home run in each of his first 2 seasons with the Reds, 77 and 78, before, of course, getting the opportunity to start last year, and just had the super season, hitting .318, 79 runs batted in along with 10 homers. Left-hander Woody Fryman has started to heat up for Montreal. Dreesen at first, 1 out. Knight behind a strike. Bonson checks and pitches. Low for a ball, 1-1. Reds falling behind 5-0. Before coming up with the 3 homers in the 7th inning, Montreal gets a run against Doug Bear in the 8th when Valentine doubles Scott in from first. And now here in the bottom of the inning, Danny Dreesen with a 1-out single to center field. Pitch. Line drive, left center field, base hit. That ball is going to be cut off deep in the alley by Andre Dawson. They wave Dreesen around third. Here's the no throw. He's in, and it's 6-4. Ray Knight with his 27th double of the year, driving Danny Dreesen in to get the Reds back to within a pair. Now Stan Bonson goes back to the mound for one more time, and those fellas that we were talking about in the 8th inning have again gone back to the bullpen. Tommy Hume for our side, Sosa, Fryman for Montreal, and Harry Spillman will lead it off against Stan Bonson, and then Johnny Bench will bat for Sam Mejias. Harry Spillman, who got the start at first base in last night's opening game, and he went 1 for 4. Spillman batting .286. That's not right. Spillman batting .262. Johnny Bench batting .282, and he's on deck to hit for Sam Mejias. Spillman, a .262 hitter, a couple of homers, both in pinch hit situations, has knocked in 10 runs. Bonson, Reds have had a run off him on 3 hits in the inning and a third in which he's pitched. He brings it on up there to Spillman, and Harry takes a strike at the letters. The way it stands right now, Rogers would win it, Soto would lose it, and if Bonson can finish a save, his second. Swing had a miss. He gave him a lot of motion and an off-speed pitch in on his hands, and Harry didn't get it and is behind 2 strikes. pass in the dirt, short hop by Carter. Well, they really pull the outfield around toward right for Spillman. He dumps one over third or hits one down the left field line. He's in Fat City. He hits one into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Line drive single off a 1-2 pitch from Bonson, and Spillman has opened the ninth inning with a single. Here's Johnny Bench. And those who were here last night and came back tonight, those who weren't, come out of their seats and give JB a standing ovation. He made baseball history last night with that two-run home run in the fifth inning off of David Palmer to give him 314 in his career as a catcher and set the new all-time record. So Spillman is led off with a hit, and that makes Johnny Bench the tying run. Bonson with a motion. And the pitch. And Bench takes it low and outside, ball one. Gary Carter now asking Dutch Renner to look at the baseball. That home run that Johnny hit last night was his 15th of this season, and he's driven in 39 runs. As a pinch hitter, has gone 2 for 7. Bonson straddles the pitching rubber, glances over to first, where Spillman has no more than a 2-step lead. Bench waiting. Here it comes, and he swings and he misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Dave Concepcion. Outfield deep. And about straight away for Bench. Pause in the pitch. Way outside, 2-1. You know, we pointed it up from time to time, but it is really amazing how the defenses so radically change from team to team for certain hitters. Most of the clubs in this league, as far as their outfielders are concerned, will play Bench as a dead pull hitter. Montreal is just about straight away. Bench grounds to shortstop. Spire goes to Scott. Scott turns it over to first. Double play. And Montreal breathing a little bit easier. Well, Stan Bonson comes up with a big double play pitch to Johnny Bench. And with 2 out, here's Dave Concepcion. Davey singled his last trip to the plate in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 4. Bonson delivers. Ball 1. Well, you would have to think if Concepcion gets on, Dick Williams will go down and bring on Woody Fryman to face Ken Griffey. Two men out, bases are empty in the bottom half of the 9th inning, and there's his call strike. That's the first double play that Montreal has turned in the game, and boy, they couldn't have picked a better time if they'd have had a choice. Pitch, ground ball, shortstop. Spire charges. He's got it. Here's a throw, and that's the ball game. In the 9th inning for the Reds, no runs, a hit. Montreal sends Cincinnati down to its 5th loss in the last 6 with a 6-4 victory. We'll be back in just a moment. After being hammered 11-7 last night, wasted no time in this one getting on the board against Mario Soto. Ron LaFleur started off the game with a base hit to left field. He stole second. Rodney Scott followed with a base on balls, and then with LaFleur and Scott trying to pull off a double steal, Andre Dawson hit a ground ball to Ray Knight at third. He stepped on the bag to force LaFleur and threw on to first to double up Dawson, and it looked like Soto might get out of the inning. Then Soto had a mental lapse, staring down at the ground, allowing Rodney Scott to steal third after the throwback from Joe Nolan to the Reds pitcher. Ellis Valentine then followed with a base hit into left center, making it 1-0. Warren Cromartie singled to right field. There was a play at third base, safe. Ray Knight then fired back to second, trying to get Cromartie. He threw the ball into right field. Ken Griffey then fired the ball over the head of catcher Joe Nolan, but Valentine had already scored. The error was charged on Knight, an error charged on Griffey for allowing Cromartie to go to second. So 2 runs were home for Montreal. Carter struck out to end the inning. They got their third run in the second, a leadoff home run by Larry Parrish, and then Soto got everything in order. He retired 14 batters in a row before with 2 out in the 6th inning after striking out Scott and Dawson. There was a double by Valentine to left field, an intentional walk to Cromartie with 2 out, then a balk that allowed both runners to advance, and Gary Carter, our star of the game, brought him home with a ground single to center, giving Montreal a 5-0 lead. The Reds had earlier shots at Steve Rogers. They loaded the bases with 1 out in the 2nd inning, but Kennedy struck out. Soto bounced out. They had 2 men on with 2 men out in the 3rd, but Dreesen grounded out to second, and the Reds were not to threaten again until the 7th inning. Montreal led 5-0. Rogers had not given up a home run in the last 50 1/3 innings, but that changed in a hurry. Ray Knight homered to left field, 5-1. Joe Nolan homered to right field, 5-2. 2 outs later, Sam Mejias hit his first home run since 1977, when, ironically, he was a member of the Expos club, and, of course, his first in a Reds uniform. At that point, Steve Rogers was lifted in favor of Stan Bonson. Concepcion single to right, but Ken Griffey hit a vicious line drive that Rodney Scott caught at second to end that inning. But at the end of 7, the Reds trailed by only 2 runs. Doug Bear came on in relief of Soto, and the Expos struck for a run against him in the 8th inning. A single by Scott and a 1-out double to left center field by Ellis Valentine gave Montreal a 3-run advantage. The Reds again got to within 2 in the 8th inning against Bonson when Dreesen singled to center with 1 out, and Ray Knight brought him around with his 27th double of the season. It went to left center field and made it 6-4. In the 9th inning, Harry Spillman led off in batting for Bears, single to left center, but Johnny Bench batted for Mejias, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, and Concepcion into the game by bouncing out to shortstop. Montreal on the night scored 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors and 5 left. The Reds had 4 runs, 9 hits, committed 3 errors, and left 7 aboard. Winner Rogers, 11-6. He's 2-0 this season against the Reds. Bonson got his 2nd save, and Soto comes away with his 4th loss. He's won twice. So tomorrow night's game will indeed be a rubber match. The Reds will be sending forth Mike Lacasse. He's won 5 and lost 8 on the season. Montreal will counter with a good-looking young right-hander by the name of Scott Sanderson. He has won 8 and lost 5. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows on most of these same stations beginning at 7:35 Cincinnati time. Once again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 44 minutes to play before a crowd of 20,023. Montreal 6 and the Reds 4.